This is actually the first kit I do everything by myself, because the very first one is I worked on with my coworker Kobey, helping with the assembling, and that's the point I started getting interested into tanks. Hello, this is Kawa from Hearns Hobbies. As you guys know, I'm a Gunpla person, but recently I started getting into the real-world military miniatures, such as tanks. And today's video, it's not an unboxing video for Gunpla. It's a work-in-progress video for the tank I'm working on. So the kit I'm bringing in today is the Tamiya 1/48 scale Panzerkampfwagen 3. This is actually the first kit I do everything by myself, because the very first one is I worked on with my coworker Kobey, helping with the assembling, and that's the point I started getting interested into tanks. So the biggest difference of impression between Tamiya's kit and Bandai's kit is Bandai is making their kits in snap fit, but Tamiya, you need to use the cement to glue everything together, which gives me a very refreshing experience during the assembling. And for Panzer III, the biggest highlight is it contains a very special part that brings up the level of the kit. I'm planning to finish this kit by King's birthday for the Moto Expo. And what I do is I assembling everything together, and then I give it a primer overall and do the airbrushing. And that is what I roughly plan. When you open the box, we normally have a instruction manual and a beginner-friendly tech tips, which is very helpful to me. And in this kit, the most special part is, as you can see, there's a color difference between the wheels and the body, right? That's because the body is a die-cast chassis. So it's not a plastic, it's more like a metal one. To put the plastic parts onto the metal body, I use super glue, which is really painful, but it comes out really well. But I really like the texture and how it looks like for the metal. And not only that, it even has a little 2 screw. You can see over here. It also gives you 2 little screws to screw the top to the body. But sadly, I forgot to put this on. So I used super glue to glue these 2 parts together. I'm so sorry for this kit, but anyways, it works well. As a Gunpla builder, I would say it's very enjoyable for the process of putting all the small parts onto the cover, but also a bit painful for making the tracks, getting into the position, and also putting on all the small parts to the chassis. So this kit doesn't come with too much interior details. It's more about how it looks like from the outside, right? For now, the kit is ready to proceed to the airbrushing stage. So stay tuned. As I mentioned, there's not too much interior details for this kit, and that makes me want to talk a little bit about another kit, which is my coworker Kobey is working on recently. We're doing a competition between each other. So his kit is the 1/48 scale Nashorn. For the Nashorn, it doesn't come with the die-cast chassis, but it also contains a special part to give it a realistic feeling of weight. Let's have a quick look for how his tank goes. As you can see, he finished all his wheels, ready to put on. He still needs to work on his tracks, etc, etc. Oh, it seems like he already put his important parts into the tank. So this is how it looks like right now. For Nashorn, the most time-consuming part is the interior, which is very different from Panzer III. It's always interesting to get the interior details recreated in the miniatures, so you can have some interactions with your military figures. I can't wait to see this one finished. So excited. And the special part for Nashorn is actually, it gives you 2 metal blocks that put into the tank body. You can't see it right now. Kobey is building too fast, isn't he? So it also gives you a really nice feeling of weight because of the metal blocks. Yeah, so both of them are feeling really good on your hands. It's not a very light-weighted one, like 100% plastic. Yeah, I'm very satisfied with how it feels on my hand because of the weight. Except for the gluing together part, there's also a very big difference between the tanks and the Gunpla, which is tanks are way more advanced compared to Gunpla. Not only because Gunpla is snap kit and Tamiya is not, but also because of the scale. Tank scale are actually way much smaller than I expected. That makes me feel harder to hold the parts when I do the detailing things together. And it also requires you have a very good sense of feeling of controlling how much cement and the super glue you put onto the parts, because the cement is actually melting your parts, right? That's actually the very first problem I faced when I'm building this tank, because I was easy to put too much cement on that and it just messed up my kit, and I have to pay very much attention to that. Also, I would say now I know how much effort that Bandai makes on how simplifying the steps for the assembly, because there's way much complicated when I do the tank assembling. For some steps, I don't even have no ideas for what it's talking about. Another thing is, for Gunplas, I normally do a test build before I actually put all the parts together. But for tanks, you need to use cement for the parts connection, right? For now, I have no ideas on how to do the test build for tanks. So that means it has to be succeed in one time, which gives me a lot of pressure. But anyways, it's a very challenging process, but also enjoyed that a lot. And I would like to try more tanks and even aircrafts in the future. And that's all the thoughts I have as a Gunpla builder so far. I will do another review on this model when I finish airbrushing it. So stay tuned. That's all for today's video. See you guys next time. Bye bye.